It all starts with a phone call. You know, the kind you never want to get. A successful lawyer finds out his estranged sister Selvi and her husband have died back in their remote village. The official story they give him? A tragic suicide, spurred on by grief. But the moment he sets foot in that village, he knows the truth is a whole lot darker.
And that's the central question that kicks this whole thing off. Was this really just a heartbreaking family tragedy, or is Selby's death just the opening move from something ancient and hungry and definitely not human?
So, here's how we're gonna unravel this mystery. First, we'll look at why that suicide just seems so suspicious. Then, we'll dive into the local legend of the Ba. After that, we piece together its terrifying plan, discover the truth about a mother's ghostly protection, and finally, we'll get to the final showdown. Okay, so right from the get-go, the official story just doesn't feel right to Selvy's brother. It's too neat, too clean, and it just doesn't sound like the sister he knew. Yeah, the whole thing falls apart pretty quickly. Her husband, a perfectly healthy guy, just drops dead from a heart attack. Then their daughter is in a coma, and their son is completely traumatized. But here's the real kicker, the one that tells you something is deeply wrong. People in the village swear they saw Selvy walking around after her supposed time of death. How is that possible? See, for her brother, this is personal. It's not just a gut feeling. He knows his sister. He knows she made him a promise, and she was not the type of person to break it, no matter what. So for him, this isn't just a case to solve. It's a fight to clear her name.
As our hero starts digging around, he realizes this village isn't just haunted by rumors. It's living under the shadow of a very old, very real, and very deadly legend.
And this is the monster at the heart of our story, the Bog. It is pure nightmare fuel. Think about it. It doesn't just kill you. It kills you, steals your face, and then uses your own identity to get close to your family and murder them too, all to feed its own power. It's a predator that hunts from the inside.
Now, the Bakahi isn't some new threat. It's an ancient evil that was trapped 100 years ago. And that festival the village is celebrating right now, it's not just a party. It's a ritual, a supernatural lockdown system designed to keep this thing in its cage. But something went wrong. The cage is broken, and the festival has just become an all-you-can-eat buffet.
All right, so we know who or what the killer is. But what does it want? Well, this isn't random violence. The Bog has a very specific three-step plan to become an unstoppable evil.
And the plan is chillingly precise. It needs 3 sacrifices, each at a 10-year interval. Someone who is 10, someone who is 20, and someone who is 30. And the first target, the 10-year-old, was supposed to be none other than Selvy's daughter, Shakti.
So why these specific 3 people? It all comes down to a kind of cosmic lottery. They were all born on the exact same day and at the same time, during the festival that only happens once a decade. They even have the same unique birthmark. All this alignment makes them the perfect spiritual fuel to supercharge the Bog.
Oh, and while all this demonic stuff is going on, there's this weird side story where 2 totally inept handymen are trying to kidnap Shakti for ransom. And they are, without a doubt, the worst kidnappers in history. It's a very strange bit of comedy right in the middle of all the horror.
But this brings us to the real heart of the story. We're about to find out what really happened to Selvy. And let me tell you, her death wasn't an act of giving up. It was the first shot in a war.
And here it is. The devastating truth. Selvy didn't commit suicide. The Bog killed her husband and wore his face. When it walked into her house, she knew. She realized what it was. And with no way to fight it, she sacrificed herself to become a shield for her children. It was an act of incredible, desperate heroism.
And even as a spirit, she has only one goal: protect her kids. This line says it all. Her promise to them is stronger than death itself. It's a bond that even a demon can't break.
And that explains the Bog's convoluted plan. Why go after 2 other people first? Because it couldn't get to Shakti. Selvy's sacrifice created a spiritual force field around her children, one the Bog was powerless against. It had to find a workaround.
So this all leads us to the climax. The festival is at its peak. The Bog is more powerful than ever after claiming its other 2 victims, and the only thing standing in its way is the ghost of a mother who will not back down.
the Beg finds a final cruel loophole. If it can unearth and destroy Selvi's body, her spiritual shield will shatter. So it's a desperate race against time as her brother and the villagers tried to protect Shakti. But just when all hope seems lost, Selvi's spirit, supercharged by the village goddess, manifests for one last fight.
And that's really what it all comes down to. The ancient evil, the centuries of hunger, the meticulous planning. None of it stood a chance against the fierce, protective love of a mother. In the end, Selvi's spirit saves her family and destroys the demon for good.
And that's the question the story leaves you with, isn't it? It sets up this massive supernatural battle. But the core of it is so human. It asks us what has more power in this world, an ancient curse born from pure evil, or a timeless love born from pure sacrifice?